Okay,
There we
Go.
journalism, basic and intermediate, 2 images.
Now get the cursor in the right place.
Briggs fire, 4 images. While feeding chickens on Easter, I noticed a plume of smoke beyond a ridge to the north. This drone view confirmed a half-acre fire that I reported to 911. It became the Briggs fire. 2. Firefighters from Geyserville arrived about 30 minutes later and began laying hoses and cutting a fire break around the perimeter of the fire. 3. It looks like hard work cutting a fire break in the steep, brushy terrain. 4. After the fire was contained within the fire break, firefighters monitored the perimeter of the fire and doused hotspots.
So this is what journalism is about. It's about immediate news, about something really interesting, and you get right to it. I think that you could have told this story in just 3 images. I think 1, 2, and 4 are your best images. Number 3 sort of duplicates number 4, and it also, it looks like hard work. We really in journalism don't want you to speculate. We want you to tell us what's happening and tell us, what we're looking at and why we're looking at. So I think, the others, we really told us what was happening, and the second shot showing them marching in and lining up, I thought that was really interesting. So, you really started off well, but I think you could have been a little bit more judicious. And I think three of your images will really tell your story. Thank you.
Arriving for Bush-Kerry debate in Phoenix, October 4th, 2004.
Okay, great. You've told us where they are, when it was, and why we're here watching this. So you've sort of told us what we need to find out in journalism. The plane seems a little cropped in, I wish there was a little bit more space, especially, you say it's arriving. It really doesn't look like it's arriving. I don't see that, but if it's arriving, I really would have liked to have seen a little bit more space. It just seems a little crowd in the front of the plane. It just seems a little bit crowded, a little static when you say arriving. But it's a really good shot of the plane, and I think you did a really nice start out job for the story. Thank you.
Journalism, advanced, 3 images. Calf roping, 1. The rider throws a lasso towards the calf running ahead to try to catch it by the neck. The horse is bracing and kicking up dirt. It helps create tension in the rope. 2. The calf has been caught. The rider dismounts in pursuit. 3. The rider ties the hoofs with the short pagan string rope in his hands. The time is recorded once he finishes and steps back.
Some really strong images, and what I like here is you're telling us what the horse is doing. You're telling us about the horse bracing to stop, and the horse is doing this before the calf is even roped. I just wish you had told us where this was so we can go there next time and see the same rodeo. Because it's really, I am enjoying the story, so I'd like to know where it was so I can go. Other than that, I really like the way you've captured it. It's really sharp. A great, great light on the rope. And the second one, again, really good, capture of this. Everything's nice and sharp. The horse is breaking, and the rider dismounts. And then here, finally, you show the rider, short pigging the string rope. I didn't know what that was, but you told me what it is. So I think you've done a really good job of telling us what this is and demonstrating it. I just want to know where it was and when. Thank you.
Nakasendo Trail. 1. Japan's Nakasendo Trail connected Edo era 1603 to 1868, Tokyo and Kyoto via mountainous northern route. 2. Magome is one of the best preserved of the 69 post towns on the trail, where travelers could stop for a meal or a bed. 3. The 5-mile hill between Magome and Tsumago, the post town pictured here, is one of the most popular on the trail for locals and visitors from around the world.
So really lovely images. I hope you consider, maybe this should also be in travel as a sequence. So this is a really good setup. You've told us where we are, why it's here. It was, when it was constructed and where it is between Tokyo and Kyoto. We go on to the second one. We see one of the towns in here. It's a little empty. It'd be nice if there were people, because you're telling us it's a preserved town. It's still here. Maybe put some travelers in here, but maybe nobody was there the time that you came through. So it's news. You can't set it up. You have to take what you can get as far as news goes. But I think that maybe if you go into travel, it would be nicer if you had a picture with people. Now this one, you've got people in it, so I think it really gives us a scale for the town, really gives us more of a feeling for it. So it's a good personal interest story about the trail. It might not be on the front page, but it would certainly be somewhere in the Sunday section. Thank you.
Stumbling stones, Stoper Steine, are brass plaques in front of the former homes of Holocaust victims, noting their names, birth, death dates, and the camps where they were sent. Location, Edam, Holland.
Okay, I mean, it's really good. You're telling us, what these stones are here for, why we're looking at them, and that's important to know. And I think that with this, with this story that you've told us in this image, it would get us to look at a story that, and maybe in the full story you would tell us who put it here and why and when they did it. We don't need that all in your caption. We've got enough in your caption to pique our interest and to make us look at this, and the fact that it's the stones, the stumble stones looks like they're polished and everything else is just left to weather. So it makes them stand out and it brings our attention to this story. And so I think that it would grab people to look at this journalism and read it and get more info about it. Thank you.
Journalism Masters, 5 images. No King's Day. 1. On March 28th, 2026, more than 8 million people protested the actions and policies of President Trump. 2. There were over 3,300 organized events. It was the largest single-day protest in American history. 3. In Sebastopol, California, hundreds of protesters lined the streets carrying signs and discussing their opinions with other protesters.
It's a little confusing. I wish that the title on your third image was here. I think you set the location first about this happened in Sebastopol, because the way this is written, you talk here about 8 million, and then on the second image, you talk about 3,000 different locations. And I think that it's a little confusing. So I think if you'd have started off with in Sebastopol, and this is an example of what's happening in Sebastopol. And then you can go on to the second image and say there were 3,000 throughout the country for a total of 8 million people, and you could have told the whole story in two images. Um, this image with the people just standing there is not one of the stronger of your three images. I think the other two images were stronger than this one. So I really like this one, the third one especially, with focusing on all the signs and all the people, and there seems to be more energy with the people and the signs in this one. So I think this is your strongest image here. Thank you.
The Fabulous Thunderbirds. 1. An exciting performance of starbursting smoke patterns. 2. Extremely tight formations. 3. And breathtaking near collisions. Wings over Solano, Travis Air Force Base, May 2026.
Really nice, tight images. I'm not sure how you got some of them, but really nice. My personal preference is the where up front rather than at the end. But other people might not have that same preference. So I recognize that is a personal thing, and it might not. I mean, you can get some journalism people in here, and I think they can argue all day one way or the other. But I do like this. This images are really sharp, really clear. In your second image, really good use of the telephoto to make those planes seem closer together than they actually are, make them look like they're stacked like a deck of cards. So I think that was a really good use of the telephoto. And the third image, again, you make them look like they're passing within inches of each other instead of, feet. So I think you did a really good job with capturing these and making them way more interesting than other people might have made them. Thank you.
Fishermen unload fish at the end of the day in Cochin, India. Runners wear multiple huge rubber hats to cushion their heads and to divert the drippings as they walk to the nearby way station.
Really nice. What I like here is that you really got a good image to show us what you're telling in your story. You're telling us about them wearing these rubber hats and divert the drippings, and right there, front and center is the hat diverting the drippings. So I think you've got a really good image to support the story that you've written here in journalism. And that, I think, that it means a lot that you've really supporting your story with a good image. Thank you.
Hang time at Cottonwood Rodeo.
This begs for more. Just saying hang time at Cottonwood Rodeo, is sort of more a pictorial title than I think a journalism title. And as you know, in journalism, the title is actually, worth more than the image itself. It's a really good image of this guy. I love how the energy of the fringe on his costume is going everywhere. The horse's hair is going everywhere. I just wish you told us a little bit more about it. Is he busting a bronco, or is there some other event going on here? We'd certainly like to know. Thank you.
Northgate Mall 1. In San Rafael, like many across the country, is a shadow of its former self. Once bustling, the former food court is now empty. Plans are underway to reimagine the space as a mixed-use community hub, but for now, it is virtually empty.
Okay, I do wish you had dated this, because somebody 5 years from now is going to come along and see this and say, well, when did this happen? When, was this 2026 or was it 2021? But in the image itself, I like how you've left it dark. I think that showing it just not touching the lighting at all, you could have increased the lighting so much in post. But I think leaving it dark like this supports your story. Um, it's a shadow of its former self, and that's certainly what you're showing here. Now, let's go on to the second one. Um, Again, the once bustling food court, it's possible that you could have merged these two. They're both sort of telling the same story that the mall is dying, is no longer dead, no longer really being as active as it once was. And I think in the third one, you've sort of introduced this ray of hope in your title, and I think the colors of the the fun carousel sort of reinforce your ray of hope in your title. So I think that title is well captured in your image. Thank you.
Monochrome, basic and intermediate, 5 images. Titanic struggle.
Yeah, it's a Titanic struggle, and I struggled with this one. I would accept this image if it was in journalism, but being an art image, that black band right across the middle is really disturbing to me. And I think that in art, you really need to be more aware of the image that you're taking and sharing with us. And I think that you should have spent more time working around that, whether it's raising your camera up over your head, moving in closer, but something to get the black band of the ring from out from right in the middle of your image would make it stronger. Thank you.
Pools in the North Fork of the Kings River.
Really nice. I certainly hope you took a lot of these images. I like that you've got a nice extended release on this. Maybe a little bit more release. I personally would like to see more of the water flowing through it. It all looks very stagnant. I think you wanted to show more of it coming down this little cascade here. And I think maybe if you'd opened it up just a little bit longer, we would see more of the water moving through the rocks. Thank you.
The Working Cowboy.
To me, a really good choice here to go with monochrome. Oh, we're not just, I'm imagining that there might have been lots of colors in his shirt, and we're not distracted by any of that. We are just seeing the cowboy and his horse. We're seeing form. We're seeing his hands. If there was color there in that shirt, we would have been distracted and not looked at his hands, not looked at the rope around the horse's horn, not looked at the horse itself and the muscles around its face and its hair. So I think that you made a really good choice to go to monochrome with this image. It's a thing that we don't have to see the whole horse to know it's a horse. So well done. Thank you.
Shakespeare upon Avon.
I had to think about this, and I know that a lot of judges will say, you just took somebody else's artwork and how did you make it your own? Well, you made it your own with the treatment that you gave to the sky. I think that you spent, I think, a lot of time working on exposure and contrast in that sky, trying to match it with the statue. I think that maybe you went a little overboard and we lost some detail in this statue, and it just became a little too dark and not as enjoyable as I think you could have made it. Thank you.
Cowboy benediction.
Again, great. Nice close up. You know, we only see the horse, the front of the horse and the cowboy's hands. We don't need to see the whole animal. We can really enjoy just the hands and the fur. Again, by going to monochrome, we're not distracted by anything. We just see the shape of the hand, the veins in the hand, the shape of the nose. I think this is really an interesting use of monochrome here to make this something we can enjoy and just really look at the hands and look at the horse. Thank you.
Monochrome advanced, 3 images. Airborne.
And isn't he? What struck me about this, it's very, you know, you come upon this and you're going to want to stop and look at it. It has impact. And I think that that's because the horse is so white against this background. And I don't know if the horse was actually that white or if you've modified it to be that white. Doesn't matter. You're gonna walk by this and stop to look at it. And when you look at it, you're gonna, you know, catch the cowboy and the angle that they're at and want to look at it more and see all the energy. Look at all the energy that you've captured in this still frame. There's a lot of energy here. The fringes going everywhere, the hair, the way the cowboy is leaning back. So I think you've really captured a lot here that we can find interest in and just find something new as we continue to look upon it. Thank you.
Light layers, Estero Americano.
Again, no distractions, except I think that I really like what you've done with the border because especially in projected images, in black and white, you can get a lot of images where the image sort of bleeds into the black background on the display. And by putting a border in, you've told me, this is the end of my image. This is where the background starts. Maybe the border didn't need to be quite so big, but that's a personal decision on the artist's part. But it really does make you know me understand where the image stops, and so I can enjoy the colors, the shadows, the tonations in the hills further as they walk away from me. Thank you.
Sun-bleached barn in the high desert.
Now, in this case, I mean, I love the sun-bleached barn. I think it's really interesting. And I think the sky that you captured there is great and it looks terrific in black and white. Your title tells me that it's a sun-bleached barn. So that means you want me to look at this barn. That's really the subject of your message. But a third of your image is the dirt, is the grasses growing in front of it. And I'm thinking that maybe you could have cropped up a little bit to make the grasses not so interesting, unless you wanted, you know, to accentuate the grasses and make something about, you know, sun-bleached barn in the middle of a, you know, of an unkept field. Then you're letting me know that both the barn and the field are part of what you want me to think about when I'm looking at this image. Thank you.
Monochrome masters, 9 images. Half Dome by Full Moon, an homage to Ansel Adams.
I really like this. I like the exposure that you've gotten. I like that I can see the stars and you know nothing's moving. I like when I look down at the trees in the lower right, I can see the shadow and it tells me that, yep, that's a full moon. That's the light from the full moon just coming right down through the trees as if it was noon. It's really well captured night shot with the full moon. And it's really interesting image of Half Dome. Thank you.
Pelican follow the leader, Not my not my style, says Gull.
Now, in this case, I don't know that I ever would have seen the gull if you didn't tell me about it. I was just so interested in the shape of the pelicans against the clouds and against the sky, and the color of the pelicans against the rocks, because I really think the rocks are very interesting. And I'm guessing, you went to Monochrome just so we would see the rocks. But the gull, I don't think I would have seen. I wouldn't have gone, might not have gotten down to there for quite some time to see the gull, and I might have just ignored the gull if you didn't tell me about it. So thank you for, drawing my attention to that. Next.
Lithographic leaves.
Really interesting. Uh, I like that. Again, you went to monochrome, so all I'm seeing are the shapes of the leaves. And in this case, it's really well done. I'm seeing not just the shapes of the leaves, but also the shapes of the veins within the leaves and the tracks and how these leaves were crushed. I don't know how you did it, but it's a really interesting image to look at. And I think that although, it might not grab you as you're walking by, it might not have the greatest impact. I think that when you look at it each time you come back to it, you'll find something new to look at and to study about the leaves and how they relate to each other. So I think you did a really good job in capturing these leaves from that standpoint. Thank you.
Warning, don't try this at home.
A lovely shot. As I said earlier, I think that your use of the telephoto to really make these planes look like they're right on top of each other is really, really good. You've really got a sharp image of these planes, and it really gives me the feeling of imminent danger. But these guys are going to hit each other. There's nothing that any can be done. So I think you did a really good job of capturing them. And again, going to monochrome. So I'm not attracted to all the colors on the planes. It's just black and white. It's just the shapes of the planes and the shapes of the planes against the fuzzy shapes of the clouds behind them. How the planes are really sharp, how the clouds and the smoke behind them are not sharp. So there's a lot of things you can look at and think about when you're studying this image. Thank you.
All about patterns.
All about patterns. I mean, this is great. Black and white, we're just looking at shapes. We're just looking at curves and balls and rectangles and squares. It's just really shapes that we can just appreciate and see how they relate to each other. Think about how the shapes relate to each other, how they're constructed. It's just pleasing to look at this image and just absorb the shapes. Thank you.
Voices of the Kalahari.
So I was looking at this and wondering why you made this monochrome. What do we gain from looking at this in monochrome? I don't know, maybe the trees are too green and there's too much color in the background that would have been distracting. I don't think the clothes that they're wearing would have been a big distraction in color. And it's not like they have a lot of tattoos that would have been distracting. So I'm trying to understand, why you went to monochrome with this, although it is a really nice image. I'm trying to understand the message, and I guess it's partially me. I'm not understanding the message that you're trying to send me this because you made a conscious choice to make this monochrome. And I guess maybe it's just going over my head as to what that message is. Thank you.
Tafoni.
Interesting. Thank goodness I had a chance to look at these, so I was able to look up what Tafoni is ahead of time. And all these cells here are orthophony. Going to black and white really makes it visible to us. All the cells are much more visible. There's nothing to distract from the shapes and all the different shapes of all the cells that are etched here in this rock. So I think that going to monochrome really helped you here, and it makes it much more interesting, much more enjoyable to look at. Thank you.
Break time. Coach in India.
There were a lot of things to like about this. The thing that I liked most, I think, was the breakup of the pattern. You have these patterns in all the bags behind them, and then these guys down in front are breaking up the patterns. And I like that they're not dead center of your image. They're a little below your image. So I think it increases the tension, increases the interest in them. I like the patterns in their headscarves. That might have been lost if this had been in color. So we can enjoy the headscarves. We can enjoy their clothes a little bit more. I think that by making it all black and white, so the colors of the stripes on the bags and the colors of their clothes, the tones of their clothes sort of more match, makes it a much more interesting image and one much more enjoyable. Thank you.
Vortex of stars.
What I am most appreciative of, you thought about this and said, hey, everybody can do a spinning star shot. I'm going to include the windmill in it. So I think that makes the shot more interesting. Everybody does star shots. It's just the star. By putting something else in there that's stationary, it just makes it a little bit more interesting. And so I really appreciate that you've done that. And that just lights up. I don't know how you lit that to give us the light here, but I think that maybe you did a flashlight on it or something. But I think that really makes it a much more interesting image. This one again, maybe if you'd have put a line around it, even with all the lights, maybe not. Something to look at because it seems to blend into the background. And I don't know if you like that or not when it's being projected on a screen. If you had printed it, I would say don't put that on there because printing it will show where the end of your image is and the start of the frame. But here where you're projecting it, you might like to have something that indicates this is the end of my image. But nothing big, something really small. Thank you.
Critique feedback. All levels, one image. Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead, celebrant.
A really good image of this kid. I mean, he's sharp, he's really clear. We see his eyes. And I like his hat. I like everything about him. I think you've really captured a feeling for him. Two things I would have preferred. If the background was if you had toned down the background a little, it's a little bright, make that a little less bright. And I thought about, do we need to see what he's looking at? And the more I looked at this image, the more I thought, no, we don't need to see what he's looking at. I think we can make up our own minds about, and we can make up a story about what he's looking at. What's at the end of his pole? Is it a flag? Is it a statue? Is it, and I think that making up your own story about what he's holding and walking with makes the image a little bit more interesting rather than, you telling us the whole story, us having to fill in some of the gaps here, I think makes the story a little bit more interesting. But I love the look on his face and the way you've captured him, position of his hands. Very well done.
Okay, we're halfway through the images, 28 down, 30, or actually entries, because some of the entries are multiple images. 30 to go. We have creative and pictorial ahead of us. We'll take a 5-minute break and we're back to creative.
Oh, that's me. Creative, basic and intermediate, 2 images. Eagle 6361, cleared for takeoff, runway 32.
So I don't know what filters you applied to it, but the filters that you applied really, I think, make it more interesting. I think that right out of the camera, there probably wasn't that great a shot, but I think the filters that you applied have made it much more interesting. And it took me, had to think a while. Do I just want the runway or do I want the airplane? And I think that including the airplane in it really makes it a much more interesting image than if it was just the stylized runway. So I think you've done a really good job to make it a much more interesting image than it might otherwise have been. Thank you.
Desert light, long exposure with LED lights.
Right. I love long exposures with LED lights. I do a lot of electroluminescent wire and LED hula hoops on my own. So I think that this is really nice. I like how the lights are drawn across, and you just didn't just draw them across. You moved them in different shapes to give us swirls and straight lines and curves and all, and made it much more interesting. I hope you play with this some more because there's so much you can do with these LED lights. Um, and I think you can get even more creative and they're really fun to just play with. So I think you've done a really good job of making and look at how the light from the LED lights up the ground underneath. And we don't ever see the person behind moving the lights. So I think you've done a really good job here. Thank you.
Creative, advanced, 3 images. Let's have fun, they said to me.
Really interesting. It's I look at the images before I read the title, and I looked at this and I saw fire. So I think that's great that people can see different things in this image. And I think that you then said to me, let's have fun. They said to me, and I'm looking at the image and saying, yes, it does look like they're having fun. It does look like they're dancing. So your title led me in a different direction than I had first assumed for this image. And I like the title that you've given me. It gives me a different perspective on this whole image. So I think you've done a good job capturing the image and leading me to the story that you wanted me to understand. Thank you.
Abstract with dancer.
I had a little trouble understanding what you're trying to tell me with this dancer. Um, and I mean, it just looks like a dancer and an abstract that have just been merged together, but I'm not sure what the story is. And that, again, that could just be me. I'm not understanding what the message that you're trying to convey to me is. It's an interesting combination of the two. And he's in a really strong position here coming out of the middle of this abstract. So you've done a really good job here. Thank you.
Joy dance.
Yes, and really good job with the lights to make it look like joy. Everything. One of the things that I really like is the lights aren't all going in one direction. The lights are going in a lot of different directions. I'm not sure how you did that, Some of them are curving to the left, some of them are curving to the right, some of them are squiggly, some of them are U-shaped. So I really like how you've done with the lights. It makes it interesting. I think that, when you come back to it a second or a third time, you can get something different from this image. So I think there's it might not have, it does have a lot of impact because it's got all the colors, but it also has some interest to it. Thank you.
Creative Masters, 6 images. Along the road between the Palouse and Moscow, Idaho, a liberal interpretation of this drive-by scene, a bit of Old Masters, a drift towards Van Gogh, by my hand, not Epps.
Well, great. I'm glad you did this all by your hand. I'm intrigued by the bridge, and it does sort of look like an Old Masters, but then we have the grasses in the front that are all so sharp and in focus. And I was expecting them to just be a little soft, a little bit more out of focus to fit in with the rest of the image. And so I think that if you had either cropped them out or made them less in focus, give them a little softer focus like the rest of the image, I think they would have fit in better with your image. Thank you.
Yin and Yang, a balance of leaves and flowers.
Okay, yeah, great. When I, first looked at this, I thought spring, not spring as in the season, but spring as in the flowers are bouncing back and forth, are moving as if they were on springs. But you've set me differently. It's a yin and yang. It's a balance of the two, and I think it is sort of a balance of the two. And I like how you've done these exposures. I think they're very well handled, and it really makes you think more, has you a little bit more to think about when you come back to it. Thank you.
Allocation.
This one for me had a lot more interest than some of the others, but because I saw like 3 images that I could look at. There's the blue colors in there, and then there are the yellow colors, and then there's sort of the background. And I was trying to see, how they all sort of, I spent all the time, how do they all fit together? What is the meaning behind all of this? So there's a lot of interest in understanding what is the meaning behind all these colors and how they all fit together. Are they different life forms that are merging and fighting for survival? Are they life forms that are just living together? They're different, but they're together. They're occupying a similar space, but they're not fighting with each other. So I think there's a lot of interpretations that you can get to an image like this and really start to enjoy it. Thank you.
After Hours.
Yeah, everybody's all concerned about the Christmas when all the customers and the revelers are out there, but this is the Christmas after hours, after everybody's gone home. So it's a really different feel for a place. And I don't think that this would fit well in travel, but I think fits well here. It's got a very different feel than we might otherwise be shared with us of a downtown like this. And so I'm glad that you've presented it to us to think about. And I really like that even with a long exposure, the lights aren't blown out. It's really easy for those lights to be overexposed and just blow everything out and not be able to see around them. But I think your timing on that was very well done. Thank you.
Eucalyptus Forest.
Well, thank you for that title. I don't know that I would have understood that these were eucalyptus trees if you didn't tell me, or maybe it's just something else and you've just titled it eucalyptus forest. It does sort of look like a forest you might see in Lord of the Rings or any of those fantasy stories. So I really was enjoying, what I would find if I went in amongst these trees. And I think that, the treatment that you've given us has taken it from the realm of a forest I might understand and brought me into a forest that is beyond my understanding. And anything can happen in this forest. So I think you've done a really good job with that. Thank you.
Yucca sunset with stars.
I really enjoyed the lights coming through the yucca. I thought that was fun and interesting, and they really captured my attention. And I liked, at first I thought, well, what if it was just the yucca? And I say, no, the yucca by itself really wouldn't work well here. It really needs the rest of the plants there to make it more interesting uh, to even make it a little bit unworldly, because the yucca is so different from the other plants around it. But I really like how you captured the light coming through it here. And I think it's really interesting with the sunlight behind it and then those bright stars coming through it. Thank you.
Pictorial, basic and intermediate, 6 images. After the rain, Cataract Falls Trail.
Very lovely. I'm enjoying this. I really like the amount of time you left the shutter open on this. It gives us uh, the water is so smooth. And we can see it all flowing, and it's just very peaceful. And I like the bridge up in the background. So there's a story we can tell about this image, and you can just look at this image and enjoy it and relax and be swept away by it. So I really think it's a lovely pictorial image. Thank you.
Steamer Lane Takeoff.
I guess there are different definitions of takeoff, but okay. So this I thought was a little funny because he is jumping down into the water rather than taking off from the water. But I guess that's how you get out there. It scared me a little because I saw these cliffs and I couldn't imagine how the hell he was going to get back up out of there with the surfboard. Um, but so it's an interesting picture of a particular time, and I'm sure it gives the author a particular feeling of how he felt when they took that image. Thank you.
Vibrant Peony.
Very lovely peony, and I think that this shows something that a lot of people might have moved it off center and moved it into one of the thirds of the image. But I think it works well with it. And I think part of what makes it work well in the center of the image is the other peony behind it. I think that really enhances this one in front. I think you've done a really good job with depth of field here, making this look very sharp, but we'd fall off very quickly. The other peony is a very soft focus, not too bright, and the green leaves behind it are all very dark, so they're visible as leaves, but they're not detracting. They're a very good background for this peony, so I think you did a really good job of capturing this flower. Thank you.
Textures of Nature.
Really nice textures. You really done a good job of capturing the rocks in the foreground. The rocks in the background are moss covered, so they've got a different texture. The water that you've caught in a long exposure has a different texture. And even though you're talking about textures here, I don't think that this is right for monochrome, because I think that the greens and the color are accentuating the textures and the rocks on the background. So I think that leaving this in color was the right choice. And even though I am enjoying the textures of the rocks here in the front, I really like the colors of them. So I think you did a really good choice in leaving this in color. Thank you.
At 7:11 on April 14th, the sun rises directly over the summit of Mount St. Helena.
I think you did a really great job with exposure on this to keep us from getting the sun from getting burnt out and just overexposing everything that it comes in contact with. I really enjoy the light from the sun down both sides of the image as it spreads across as it spreads down the hills and just lighting the top of the hills and the starburst from the sun as it crests over the mountain. I think the light here is really interesting and intriguing, and I think your exposure is very well done. And so and there's a lot to take in and a lot to enjoy in looking at this image. Thank you.
Texas longhorn steer.
Now, who would have thought a steer would be a good subject for a portrait? But it is. It's a really an interesting steer here. I really like the horns. I mean, the horns are the most important part. You don't even need the rest of the animal. You want the face and the horns, but you've given us the whole animal to show us how beefy and strong it really is. I like the lighting that you've done, so it just the steer is illuminated and everything else is sort of in black. I think that his face could be a little sharper. I'm not sure where the focal point landed on this. Maybe it landed on the tip of his left horn, which would indicate maybe you need a little bit deeper depth of field to get his face as sharp as the horn is. But a really nice image to start with. Thank you.
Pictorial advanced 2 images. A great blue heron takes off.
A really tough image to capture. I mean, the heron has a lot of white feathers that are very reflective. The background could very well be underexposed and all dark. So I think your exposure here was very, very well done. In this case, although his left wing is close to the edge, I think his head is far enough away from the edge that it's not bothering me. And it's not bothering me that there's a lot of the image behind him. I don't care. These guys take off very quickly, and you have to capture what you can. And I think if you cropped it in, it would not be anywhere near as interesting as an image. So I think it's okay in this case to leave all that grass, all that greenery behind the heron as it takes off. Again, I don't know, what you're using, where you might want to go back and your image on your camera. Sometimes on some of the programs, some of the post-processing programs can show you where the focal point is. I'm not sure the focal point was at his face or at his head. So you might want to check on that. Thank you.
Paint the moon.
So it's the moon is a really tough subject to tackle because it is so reflective. But I like that you took this in the clouds and you incorporated that and you used the cloudiness of the night to sort of enhance the moon and put the halo around it. I guess I sort of wish there was something to give us a little bit of size, something, down at the bottom. I know that earlier, before the competition started, we talked about people taking pictures of the moon, against one of the bridges, the Golden Gate Bridge or something, so that they had something in the foreground to relate to that would give us a sense of size. And I guess just leaving the moon by itself makes it a little isolated, and we don't really get a sense of the size of it. Thank you.
Pictorial Masters, 11 images. A break in the storm at 10,000 feet.
A really sharp image, a really good image of these trees. I have a tendency, I have a tendency not to like it when the sort of horizon line is right in the middle of your image. That tends to make everything, the top of the image and the reflection of the image look the same. What saves this from happening here is the rocks here in the front sort of break up so you don't have a perfect mirror image. And I think that adds a little tension to the image. Because personally, I don't like exact mirror images. I don't think they're rarely that interesting. But I think the rocks here make this image much more interesting than it might otherwise be. Thank you.
The plastic ceiling.
When I guess I've been watching a lot of poker tournaments lately, and the first thing I saw here was Full House. Because you've got 3 of one and 2 of the other. And then I saw your title, The Plastic Ceiling, and said, oh, that's a really good title to go with this. And I think that if you had just had one of these dolls, then I would have asked about, well, are you just taking pictures of someone else's artwork? But I think that showing the 5 of them and mixing them up like this and really accentuating the ceiling part of it, I think is what's made this your image and not just a picture of someone else's artwork. So kudos to you for making it your own. Thank you.
The silence of dawn.
Again, sorry. I really like the title really drew me into the whole silence here. In this case, we don't have any people in it. But we sort of know how big these things are. But just the blue light that you're getting at this time of day and no people sort of reinforces the title you've given to your image of silence. And I can feel the silence in this image. I can feel the quietude. If I feel that I was there, I wouldn't be hearing train whistles from anywhere else or cars speeding by on the freeway. And I think that you've really captured a feeling here that goes with the title that you've given us. Thank you.
Crowned lapwings.
I like that you said that these guys are really in focus. I mean, their eyes are really in focus. I can see the catchlight in their eyes. We can see the feathers on their chests. So you've done a really good job of capturing these two. And we don't need to see what they're looking at. We have a great background. It's all out of focus. I don't think the background is too bright. I think it's a good color. It really stands out, makes them stand out more against the background. So I think you've done a really good job with capturing them. Thank you.
I can smell you, female Thule elk.
I like this because how many people would have given us a picture of the elk from the back of their head? Most of people would have, tried to move around to get the front. but you made it interesting to get the back of the head, and you gave us a title that makes us think more about this image, think more about the animal. It's a really lovely image. You've got a great depth of field, really sharp focus on the animal's fur. I like the border that you put on it. It really sets that out and says, this is where my image ends. This is the whole image. And so I like that you've taken a chance and you've given us something that most people would throw away and say, oh, I can't use an image of the back of some moose's head. You said, yes, I can. It's still a lovely moose, and I can use an image from the back of the head. Thank you.
Sierra stratum at dawn.
Lovely colors. Really nice to capture it as the sun is coming up over these. It's sort of, I go up to the Alabama hills to capture them in the sunrise a lot, and it reminds me of trips to the Alabama hills. So I'm sure it reminds other people of trips to a lot of the Sierra locations. I just love that sunrise coming up in the morning and making the hills come alive with these colors, and just sort of as a bonus, you're lighting up all the grass and the tumbleweed, the weeds in the front. So I think you've captured a really good image here. Thank you.
Can you hear me now?
A really cute title, but the more I looked at this image, the more it intrigued me, and the more I interpreted it and saw into it. You can look at this maroon semicircle that he's in, and is that a force field that's keeping everyone out? And that's why he's asking, can you hear me now? Is that a boundary that he can't go past? What is going on with a little light colored area that he's standing in? Is that something reaching out to touch him, to capture him? So I think you could look at this and interpret it a lot of different ways, and the more you look at it, the more interesting and the stranger stories you can make about it. So I think it's really intriguing. Thank you.
All motion is relative. Sonoma Raceway, Classic Sports Racing Group.
This is not the easiest thing to get. Is this feeling of speed when you've only got one image to share with people. But I think you've really tracked fairly well on this race car to capture it. I keep going back and forth about whether or not I like the race car in the upper right, whether he's reinforcing the idea of speed or not. I'm really enjoying the image of 21, and I think that the image in the upper right would have been easy to remove, and I don't think that removing it would have hurt your image. I think it might make it stronger, but that's sort of my opinion. I don't know how you would feel about that. Thank you.
From the elephant seal's point of view, having a lazy day at Drake's Beach, Point Reyes. Wish you were here. Loosely in the style of a painted postcard from the 1950s.
I'm loving part of this and not loving part of this. I think your border could have been a little thinner, but that's besides the point. And yeah, I guess it's the style of the painted postcards, that the tonal range isn't that wide. There's nothing really bright, although there are things that are very dark. I wish that there was a little bit more tonal range. so that the elephant seal stood out a little bit more. But you wanted to put in the style of the postcards from the 50s. And so that wasn't an option for you. Everything had to be in this narrow range to put it here. But I think that it's a lovely image of these seals lying on the beach. Thank you.
Hey there, handsome, she purred. Come on up. I don't bite. Kenya.
Um, a really cutesy title, and I suppose that's your preference. I think it's a really lovely image of this leopard. I often, wondered, they put up signs to warn you about dead animals falling from the trees because the leopard brings them up there, and I wonder why they don't tell you about leopards being up in the trees. I think they'd be more dangerous than a dead animal falling, but you've done a really good job. I really feel uh, connected to the animal. It's looking right at you. It's really sharp. I can see its whiskers. Um, and the background is a little, a little out of focus, a little soft focus. That might even be more enhanced if you could get that a little bit more soft focus, but I think it's okay where it is. That's a really lovely cat, and I like how you've captured it. Thank you.
A colorful jewel pauses in the calm of his rainforest.
Look at how sharp it is. Look at how you can see all the feathers on his head and down his neck and across its back. Really good. Nice shallow depth of field. So shallow that the tail feathers are just a little out of focus, but that doesn't matter. You've got the head in focus and the neck in focus and the beak in focus. I think that you've got a really sharp focus here on this bird. We've got a catch light in the eye, so we know it's real. It's not a stuffed animal. So I think you did a really good job of capturing this animal. Thank you.
Okay, we've covered all the images. We'll take another 5-minute break. Okay. We're back.
Journalism, basic plus intermediate, 2 images. Second place. Stephen.
I haven't seen him tonight.
Congratulations to Stephen. First place. Fritz.
Yeah, he called it in. That's cool.
It sure did.
Yeah.
I love that shot.
Yeah, this would be.
It says here the fire was contained in the fire break, but it's also the beginning of the Briggs fire. So did it escape the fire break and then become the whole conflagration?
Don't know.
We have see Fritz here tonight.
I guess I'm wondering, what is the amount of time that has elapsed? Because if it was this huge Briggs fire that lasted for days and days, and he's got the start and the end. It seems like to me this was the start and they contained it, and then later something flared up and became this huge fire.
Yeah, but this is this year. Was that a huge fire this year?
The
April.
Briggs fire was a major fire that lasted, I don't know, a couple of weeks.
This was taken last month.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Fritz. Journalism Advance, 3 images. 3rd place, Amy.
Very nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice story.
Yeah. Great shot.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Great shot.
I want to go there now.
The
Do the
umbrellas.
hike.
I'm curious about the umbrellas. Is it for heat or
I think it's probably
rain?
for
I
sun.
think they're gonna, it's possible I'm gonna place on this one. I think mine is next.
Ronnie, we can hear you.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. We hope you do too.
Good luck.
Yeah, but the street looks a little damp to me. There's some reflective
Maybe.
between
Yeah,
the
it
two
does.
ladies. Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Jerry, did you just get here?
Yeah, about half an hour ago or so. I had another meeting.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Congratulations to Amy. 2nd place, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Sure
Wow.
enough.
You called it, Ronnie.
Oh,
Sorry, I've given
This
up on
is
gambling, but
so moving.
I have to say that I knew these existed before I went to Amsterdam. They're in I know about, they're in quite a few countries in Europe. I don't know if they're anywhere else, but I believe that it wouldn't make sense to have them anywhere else. But we were just walking through this lovely little town called Edam. Yes, where the cheese comes from. And then our guide was talking about these. I saw them on the street and I said, "Oh, I guess that's what it is." And it was quite moving. I mean, more moving than I thought it might be. And I've been to Auschwitz, so I've been through that, but it really is very moving, and I wish that I'd like to read more about it. So I wanted to share that with you. And thank you.
Moving.
Beautiful.
I like the way they've been taken care of. You can see the residue from the metal polish on the rock.
Oh, right.
This is brass. And they just,
Yeah.
Nice.
so they got to polish them correctly at least every couple of days to keep them like that.
I wonder how they maintain them. I mean, I know that it's brass. I know that the plates themselves are brass, but I don't know. I don't really know how they, how they maintain them, if they do.
Metal polish, Metallputz, it's called.
The one on the left and the one on the right died the same day. The one in the middle, name on the right, they were hyphenated with Khan, so trying to figure out the relationship, but it's interesting. It makes you look deeper into what's
Exactly.
there.
Yeah.
So the one on the right was born in, oh yes, the one on the right and the one on the left were both born in 1881.
Mm-hmm.
So they must have been the parents.
Okay, and Kurt
Yep.
was the son.
Well, and they also died the same day.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't unusual, but yes.
God.
And the one in the middle was a couple months later.
Yes. Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
1st place, Ellen.
Yay.
Nice, Ellen.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed that I said that.
Oh, thank you. Since our group is going to the rodeo next month,
Right.
I looked my old rodeo photos. These are from 2022. And thought, gee, I could do something with these.
All right.
The other tip, if you don't know this yet, you can feed your photos to ChatGPT and ask what's going on in this photo.
Oh, wow.
So that's how I came up with these captions. I never heard of what is it? A piggin before, but I learned something.
Piggin string.
Piggin string rope.
Piggin string, yeah.
We could throw that around when we're there.
Oh, and also a comment. Our kind judge wanted to know where the rodeo is. And I didn't, I should have had it in the title for sure. But I was just thinking, oh, well, everybody knows the rodeo. It's Duncan's Mills up here at on the Russian River.
Russian River Rodeo.
But I have to realize the whole world is not this photo group.
Yeah. And they actually have 2 separate rodeos over the summer up there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one's the gay rodeo.
Oh, I haven't heard of that.
We should go to that one.
The North American Gay Rodeo Association has rodeos all over the country, and this year the finals for all of them is going to be in Reno.
Oh,
Wow.
wish it were here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ellen.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Journalism Masters, 3 images, 3rd place. Gary.
Oh, yeah, that was downtown Sebastopol. There were more people there, or as many people as what usually does the Apple Blossom Parade, which was amazing because that's usually one that they line the streets all the way down through the main street. So my purpose in having 3 was to record the main intersection. So this is one corner, and this was the a corner across street. And I was kind of about that as I wasn't sure if I would want to do that, but my thinking was personal thing was to show another corner. And then on the last one was my favorite. Yeah, that was, I love, I mean, there's just, the more I looked at it, I mean, the ladies on the lower right, I mean, look at, they're having this serious discussion. And then the different signs.
I really like the don't walk hand.
Me too. Me too. Yeah. And that was something totally unintentional. All of a sudden I'm going, wow, I like that.
It's like,
and with the colors and the messages, I think that it could probably could have just had that alone and told the story. But that was a lot of fun to do.
Nice, Gary.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
Good job.
2nd place.
Thank you.
Sherry.
Very nice.
Yeah, this is cool.
Oh, thank you. I mean, had I been thinking about competition when I took it, I might have done it a little bit differently. But I mean, this was the mall of my youth, so going back there and seeing it empty was something.
Sure, it's sad for me too. It was my mall too.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
You remember it before it was enclosed.
Yes.
Yeah.
When it first opened. Yeah.
Santa Claus at the Emporium.
Congratulations. 1st place.
Bill. Thank you.
Yeah. Fabulous.
Nice series.
These are great.
I had a feeling that was you, Bill.
I learned this one was shots like this, you have to be in a certain place. And so where's that place?
Right.
We look for the most expensive people who paid the most money to come to the show and make sure you're close to them. and that's where we were. We were about 15, 20, 30 feet. Because if you get too far away, then you don't get that symmetrical look.
It's fabulous.
Oh, this is my favorite. Oh, man.
Is there 4 planes there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done,
There were
Bill.
4 planes, and the announcer said 18 inches.
Wow.
Wow.
18
Unbelievable, huh?
Folks.
You're literally trusting their other pilots with your life.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That's a foot and a half.
By the way, these guys don't think they have fatalities. Over 20 years, there's probably 9 or 10 people who died in these
Wow.
shows.
Oh.
Makes me wonder why they continue to do it.
Thrill.
Congratulations.
Fantastic
Thank you.
images. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Monochrome Basic plus Intermediate, 3 images. 3rd place. Fritz.
Oh, Fritz. Oh,
Nice.
This is really neat.
yeah.
Congratulations to Fritz. 2nd place, Helen.
Yeah, Ellen.
He's, was he Sarah?
It's a great shot.
You here, Helen?
Yes, hi.
Hi. Sweet.
Thank you. Yeah, I didn't hear the other comments, so sorry.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
1st place,
Helen again.
Helen again.
Yay.
I knew that was you. I guessed
Yeah.
it. Amazing. Beautiful.
What a great shot.
Great name.
Yeah.
The hand,
hand.
just
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Helen, you have some of the best cropping, consistent, that
Exactly.
I've seen from anyone in this club.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Do you shoot wide and then trim it, or do you just go in?
That was actually of the cowboy's half his body, his face and everything, but I just before I took the shot, I had in my mind exactly what I wanted. So it was a beautiful picture. Actually, the light was actually very pretty towards the end of the day, but I had already envisioned what I wanted, and so I just cropped it out because I noticed before he had these amazing hands, these working hands. So I didn't correct his nails or anything. I just left them raw. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Monochrome Advanced, 3 images. 3rd place, Amy.
Yay, Amy.
Here?
She's traveling.
Oh, good for her.
Congratulations to Amy. 2nd place, Trisha.
Nice.
Yay.
Nice,
Thank
Trish.
you. Now, this was a field trip for another photo group, and I saw these foggy kind of light on these mountains going
Yeah.
into the ocean. I thought, oh man, that is so cool.
And you got a lot of detail in the foreground there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Very good
beautiful.
tonal range.
Thanks.
Very nice.
And tons of layers.
Yeah.
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 Layers
Yeah.
and
I was
layers.
thinking that,
Congratulations.
Thanks.
1st place,
Ooh,
Helen.
yeah.
Wow.
So cool.
Nice.
Thank you. Yeah, I went back to those rodeo photos. This is the same day, and it looked for ones that would work well in monochrome, and most of them did not. But this one,
White
did.
This one
horse.
does.
Yeah,
White horse
the white
is
horse.
great.
Mm-hmm.
Poor
Yeah.
thing.
So much texture.
And the fringe is cool.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Monochrome Masters, 4 images. Honorable mention, Cindy.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah.
Good job.
Super.
I love this.
Oh, 30-second shots. I was wondering how long she had that exposure because it's really cool the way the little shorts
30 seconds.
Light. Yeah, 30 seconds.
3 seconds. No, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
18 millimeters.
Yeah. Wow. That's
Wow.
nice. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Cindy. Third place,
Tomorrow.
Tamara.
This
I
is
love
great.
this.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Oh man.
I'd like to see it in color too. I think,
Mm.
I mean, this is
Yeah.
probably better this way, but I'm just really curious.
You could email her and ask her.
Mhm.
Congratulations to Tamara. Second place,
Oh, Liz.
Liz.
Oh, thank you.
Wonderful.
Mhm.
Yeah,
This was
that's
Interesting.
at Riverfront Park. I mean, you know how it floods there?
Uh-huh.
Well, I guess the muddy water rose up in different layers and receded, and it left this little mud wash on each leaf.
Mm.
Oh,
Really
Oh,
cool.
well seen.
very cool.
Wow.
Nice.
It's easy to imagine it in a lot of different environments, like a glass window or,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's really beautiful.
Yes, it would be beautiful etched in glass.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it is.
Oh, I guess I
Mhm.
reversed it. That's why the background
Ah,
is light. Yeah, that's right.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
First place,
no,
Yeah.
Linda.
Linda.
Ah,
Yeah.
Yay. Is she here or she went
I
I don't see her. One of my
to New
favorite
York?
places.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought. I was sure it
I
was
could have
you.
sworn it was your photo,
Yeah, me
Sherry.
too.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Linda.
Very nice.
Creative, basic plus intermediate, 2 images. Second place,
Hmm.
Dale.
Nice.
See here? I don't-
Very cool.
no.
That looks like fun to do.
Mm-hmm.
Reminds me of music notes.
Yes.
Those look
Mhm.
like music notes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
scale.
Mm.
The G clef.
Congratulations to Dale. First place,
Mm,
Mm,
Stephen.
Awesome.
even nice.
Yeah, this is
it's
neat.
fabulous. He's got an eye.
Mhm.
I didn't notice the word this area in the foreground
Mm-hmm.
on the
Uh-huh.
wing.
Mhm.
Don't
Yeah, it
walk
probably
on this
says no
area.
step.
Yeah.
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 Congratulations to Stephen. Creative Advanced, 3 images. Third place, Ellen.
Thank you. There is no story other than in the artist's eye. I had this nice abstract with a slow shutter and paper, and then I just remembered I had this guy with this blue shirt. It would just, why not?
They
Yay.
go
So
together.
there he is.
Yeah.
He's jumping right out of there.
Congratulations. Second place,
Mm,
Trisha.
fabulous.
Yay.
This was a field trip for the Tuesday group. We went to the Luther Burbank Center during their kind of Christmas display of sculptural lighting. And I just love playing with that kind of stuff. So
It's
Yeah.
brilliant. I was there.
Yeah.
I got
Beautiful.
nothing like that.
Me either.
So
You
fun.
just are so talented.
thank you.
Nice job, Trish.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Congratulations. First place,
Oh, beautiful.
Ronnie.
Mm,
Ronnie.
Oh,
it's
yay.
fabulous.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, this was these were tulips, which I layered in a botanical garden that was founded in like 1600 something.
Wow.
And they have, and it's still it's still in operation, and they have a lot of native plants, and tulips are not native to the Netherlands, but they have somehow taken over. I mean, tulips are originally from Central Asia and were brought to the Netherlands through Turkey, I believe, in like the 1600s. And they just called my name. They were so unusual. You don't really see tall, skinny tulips, and I just fell in love with them. So thank you.
Came out great.
Nice.
Congratulations. Creative Masters, 3 images. Third place, Cindy.
Cindy. Wow, what a surprise.
Congratulations to Cindy. Second place, Linda.
Linda.
Wow.
Beautiful. I love the
Congratulations to
alignment of everything.
Oh,
first place, Jennifer.
All right, Jennifer.
thank you. Oh, this was in New Mexico, and this was my favorite image from the whole workshop. It was a capture to print workshop, so I did actually print this one, and I just loved it. The Ocotillo, which is the other plant besides the yucca, is just so beautiful. I really love it. Anyway, thank you very much.
It's gorgeous.
Yes.
Congratulations. Pictorial, basic plus intermediate, 4 images. Honorable mention, Fritz.
This is
That's
lovely.
beautiful.
Lovely.
I think that's taken from his front deck
From the ranch, yeah.
on the
Oh,
ranch.
bet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really cool.
Wow.
I love the fog and the light.
Mhm.
He probably planned that out.
Oh, he
Yeah.
probably did.
Fog
He
machine.
does that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He had Pat run down there with a smoke machine.
Congratulations to Fritz. Third place,
Oh,
Pretty.
nice.
Teresa.
Very nice.
Yes.
Love the colors.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite places to hike.
Where is it?
It's also Cataract Falls Trail.
Oh,
Same
okay.
trail, but different spots. I just love that place.
Wow.
Congratulations. Second place,
Hmm.
Teresa also.
All right.
From my garden.
Oh,
Beautiful shot.
beautiful.
Garden. Nice.
Yeah,
Thank
gorgeous.
you. One of the first peonies that flowered, and I'm just in love with these flowers, and they only bloom once, so you have to capture them while they're there.
Mm-hmm. It's gorgeous.
Thank you.
Congratulations. First place,
Huh?
Wow.
Well
Patrick.
done.
Trifecta. Yay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Again, my favorite trail. I just love this place.
Where is it?
It's part of Mount Tamalpais. I like to start by the watershed and then I hike up. So it's basically in this steep gorge. So it's really beautiful. It's quite a busy hike, so
Mhm.
I always try to get there early. And this morning I was lucky that the light was just right because it's often overcast and you don't always get the light the way it was this morning. So
That's
it's
gorgeous.
Thank you.
Is it anywhere near the Dipsy Trail?
On the other side, Steve, it's up above Fairfax.
Yeah, it's actually, as a crow fly, it's actually very close. If you hike this trail all the way to the top, then you're at the top of where the Dipsy Trail would be. So you can actually hike to the top and then connect and then hike down the dip
Right.
sea and steep ravine trap.
Right. Just accessing. Yeah.
Yes, accessing is on the other side. You're right.
Yeah, it's
Congratulations.
really, really
Beautiful.
beautiful.
Colors are so
Nice.
gorgeous.
Very nice.
Hmm.
Pictorial Advance, 2 images. Second place, Ronnie.
Yours?
Thank you. Um, I had a very interesting experience with this heron. So this was in a park, a public park in on the outskirts in a suburb of Amsterdam. And apparently there are 5 herons, 5 great blue herons that live in this park. And they apparently are very used to people. So I and another person in my group stood there for, I don't know, at least 10 minutes, maybe longer, watching this heron. And he ate 2 fish while we were watching. And then, as we knew, we assumed he would eventually, he just took off. So I was really glad that I got this. While everybody else was shooting flowers, I was shooting the heron.
Mhm.
So thank you.
Good feathers.
Congratulations. First place,
Mm.
Trisha.
Oh, thank you.
That's just
You know,
yummy.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure where I took this. It could have been in Fresno, or it could have been here in my front yard.
I bet it was in your front yard.
It could have been in my front yard. But I just love the clouds and the moon, and yeah, it took a little work to get the inside of the moon, but thanks.
I like
It's
the
beautiful.
chocolate
Mhm.
color.
I
Yeah,
just
chocolate.
I just love the minimalism of it.
Mhm.
Love
Mhm.
the painterly, that you get the feeling if it could have been painted to be this way, I could see somebody paying a lot of money to have this as their painting. It's really beautiful.
Thank you.
Yay.
Mhm.
Congratulations. Pictorial Masters, 3 images. Third place,
Oh,
Whee!
Mara.
So amazing.
Yeah, stunning image.
I love the title. Come on.
Yeah. Fine.
I almost thought it was another photographer. Again,
Just
it's like you're
the
bothering me
spots are
again.
just
That shoulder is
Eyes.
kind of like, come on.
yeah, come hither.
Mhm.
I think
She's
she
amazing.
bites.
Yeah.
I bet she bites.
Congratulations to Tamara. Second place,
Oh, beautiful.
Linda.
Mm.
Linda.
Oh,
Mm.
Linda, nice.
Yeah, the color and the light, just
And
stunning.
that little cloud.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
Mhm.
great.
Mm.
A
Great
very,
framing.
a very good color tonal range on that.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations to Linda. First place,
Oh goodness.
Very
Wow.
Thank you. It is taken at one of my favorite places, the Marin Civic Center. So the circle is the balcony, looking down. And yeah, I just was waiting for him to get to the right spot.
Oh,
Yeah, you
nice.
caught him
Interesting.
perfectly.
Striking, very striking.
Thank
Yeah, I
you.
like how you didn't put the circle right in the middle.
yeah. The asymmetry of it is very nice.
Yeah.
Well, the whole building is like that. When you're seeing the layers of the balconies and they look like they should be just stacked perfectly, but every one is just a little different and a little off.
Yeah, I grew up around a lot of Frank Lloyd Wright
Mm.
buildings, and it's just when you see the evolution over time of these, where does he draw it out of the ether?
Mhm.
Beautiful.
It seems Middle Eastern to me. I could almost see him as a, you know, wearing a turban there and walking through a mosque.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And the best image of the evening.
Ah,
Oh,
all right.
Oh, well, a shout out to the Tuesday afternoon group. I ran this through the salon. So
Oh, good.
if you guys haven't checked it out and get a chance, it's really a great experience. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm seeing a field trip there.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
they even do tours like Fridays at 10 or something. I mean, you know, not weekends, unfortunately. I haven't done that yet, but I'd go back.
Yes, it's a building where if you approach it at different times of day with different light, it comes across radically different.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Very cool.
Oh.
Thank you, Stephen.
Hey, thanks,
Yeah,
Steve.
thank you, Stephen. You did a great
Thanks, Steve.
job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
You.
Good night. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
And
Bye.
everyone.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.